Side hustle is a necessity. It's almost a do or die affair. Yes, in the sense that, look, if you don't pay your bills will pay you.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't use your time well, somebody else will use it for you. If you don't use your life well, somebody will use your life for you.
Hello, welcome to the LHC Pod, where we inspire elevated living. My name is Emmanuel. Of course, I have my super duper amazing, wonderful co-host in the house.
Lola. Hi, Emmanuel. What's up?
Hi, what's up? I'm very well. I'm cool. How's it going?
Super duper amazing, right?
Yeah, sure.
You know this. Well, I'm good. So what's going on today? How have things been with you?
Very well.
Okay.
So, what do you have in the office?
As usual, another interesting, captivating topic.
Yeah.
And this one is bound to inspire a lot of discussion because it's something we talk about in our spaces, in the closets, and even mentally.
Okay.
So today, we're talking about side hustling.
Hustle.
In particular, side hustling amid today's economy. Is it hype? Is it a nightmare? Or is it a necessity?
Is it a hype?
You see, you have to take a breath and think about it.
Is it a nightmare?
Or is
I'm
it a
thinking,
necessity?
seriously thinking about it. Now that you've just mentioned it, is it overhyped?
Exactly. You know, everybody says, oh, you have to have a side hustle, you have to hustle.
Hustle.
You have your job and you
And
still
it's
have to hustle.
almost sounding like the the terminology has been overused, right? But before then, who do
Yes.
we have in the house?
Well,
Right?
our guest today, special guest. His name is Anthony Onyemauwa, but he's also known as Ikemba.
One.
Yes. Welcome.
Let's put our hands together for
Welcome,
him, right?
Anthony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Mr. Ikemba, you are a marketing expert. You have over 17 years of experience in marketing, managing some of the biggest brands in Nigeria. Has it been the journey so far?
Well, the journey has been, first of all, let me start by once again saying thank you. It's an honor. The journey has been a very exciting one. It's been a journey that has taken me through different, I don't want to call them careers, but different aspects of marketing that has culminated in who I am and what I do today. I actually did begin my career as a strategist. I began my career, not even before I became a strategist, I was first a writer. So I managed a magazine then called Creativity Magazine.
Okay.
So Creativity Magazine was the first magazine in the advertising world as it were then in Nigeria, the first ever creativity magazine. So I managed it, as I was the in-house managing editor. So I wrote, interviewed our guests, interviewed whoever we wanted to interview. I was also responsible for sourcing ads, and then, of course, from it was a small setup there.
Yeah.
So from writing, I went into researching. Then from researching, I asked myself, when I research and get all these things, so how do I make sense of it? That's how I now move from researching into strategy, because strategy uses the outcome of your research. When you do research, you come out with some facts, data, and then with that data, you can come up with strategic direction, strategic documents that will help brands and businesses make decisions. So, and then from being a strategist, and I became a brand manager and eventually a marketing manager. So over time, the career just flowed from about 07 till date. So, however, all through this journey, I've always had a keen interest in not just capacity development, but in wealth creation, helping people, make money, grow businesses, earn more. Maybe because I started from a startup. Eventually, I ended up working at, very big organizations, worked at Konga, worked at Wakana, worked at MTN and all of that, but because I began from a startup, The whole startup entrepreneurial spirit never really left me. It was something that made a permanent imprint on how I thought, how I saw life. So it's been a very fun and exciting journey. I have had the opportunity to manage some of the biggest brands in the country. I managed Star Lager Bear, managed brands under Nigerian breweries, Multi Choice, and all of that. So it's given me a very um, wide understanding of how marketing works. Working at a startup, working at an established business, working in different sectors, working with e-commerce, working with travel, working with FMCG, working in telecom. So all of that helped me understand business at different levels. So, and that is why whenever I give advice on business, on entrepreneurship, it's not just coming from one worldview. It's because I've been able to really understand different types of businesses at different levels, and that has informed, my thinking.
Your thinking. Thank you very much for that robust opening for us. It only signals one thing, which is that we're going to have a very, very wonderful conversation on this episode today. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is we hear marketing, we hear sales. Sometimes in Africa, and especially in particular Nigeria, people mix sales and then marketing. Maybe this will just be another opportunity for us to clarify both roles before we then move in details into the integrity of the conversation.
Okay, so the question is, what is the
difference
between marketing and sales? They are like daylight and night, although they complement each other.
Yes.
But marketing is not sales, and sales is definitely not marketing.
You hear that?
And that is why most businesses have a marketing department and a sales department. The sales guy is the one that makes the face-to-face contacts with the consumer or the customer and closes the deal. However, in a well-fleshed out marketing department, what marketing does, it starts from even identifying what the consumer needs. Most times, the consumer or the customer does not even know what he or she needs. So the marketer, their first job is to understand what is a need in the market or in the life of the consumer that we can meet with either a product or a service. So their work starts from need identification. So they identify the need, then they do further research. Then the next thing is to package it, put it together in a form that works for the consumer. And putting together in this form looks at things like the packaging, the pricing, the distribution, how the customer access it. Sometimes you can have a great product, but if the distribution is bad, the customer will not get it and you will fail. So, for example, there are products that when you make, if you don't plan out the distribution channel in such a way that it's easy for the customer to access it, you would have wasted your time because your products will be there. Yes, the customer needs it, but because the distribution channel is not well mapped out, it becomes a challenge, you understand? Which is why some products work well from online, others work well, sell better, face to face, you understand me? So the marketer, like I said earlier, starts with need identification, need validation, packaging, pricing, then doing the promotion. The promotion is all the adverts you see, all the whatever you see, basically to sensitize the public about it. Then the sales guy is that person who the customer now meets face to face and gets the final conviction to buy or not to buy.
So at the conversion point.
That
is where the sales point.
Exactly.
The sales team comes
That
in.
is why the KPIs meaning key performance indicators, the KPIs for the marketing guy is always different from the KPI for the sales guy. You understand? So for the marketing guy, you hear KPIs like brand visibility, top of mind awareness,
share of voice,
share of wallet, and all of that. But for the sales guy, it's always about the bottom line, number of sales, volume. Number of sales, volume, number of sales. So while the sales guy is being measured on volume, the marketing guy is being measured on awareness, perception, visibility, and all of that.
Yeah.
So they clearly are not the same. They clearly so I see it happen a lot in Nigeria where people say anybody who's come to sell stuff to them and say it's a marketer. It's a marketer. They are not
That's not a
marketer.
marketer.
Those people are actually sales guys. They're the ones who close the deal. So if you are let's use one example, case study to make this clearer. So let's pick land. You want to buy land. You wake up in the morning, you open your phone, you turn on your phone, and then you see an ad about, let's say, landway property or something. Okay. I hope it's not bad if I mention a brand name. So let's say you see landway, and then as you get into your car or you enter public transport, as you're moving to work, you see a billboard, landway, whatever. Okay. And then on your way to work, you turn on the radio and you hear, and maybe you put on Radio Lagos, and they sing, you hear a jingle, and they say landway, Badagry, blah 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 blah. So all of that is marketing. So number one, they're making you aware of landway. They are, convincing you. They're giving you reasons why landway works and why it's a good idea, and the price. They're telling you the pricing, where it's situated, where it's located, why it's a good idea to buy it, and all of that. Then you get to the office, you go out for lunch, and at the mall or at the eatery, somebody comes up to you with a flyer and says, "Sir, I want to show you something. I'm from Landway. We will sell this. This is blah blah. We are doing a promotion." Now, all what we have been hearing across different channels are all part of marketing. But that lady that came to you, or the guy that came to you, that guy is not a marketer. That guy is a salesman. Because when the effort of that guy or lady is being measured, it's not measured by how many people did you speak to, how many people did you make aware of. No, it's about how many plots did you sell.
Exactly.
Do you understand me?
Yes.
So in that sense, that person is not a marketer; it's a salesperson.
So speaking from a brand perspective now, we've talked extensively about how sales and marketing differ. How can brands then focus on that marketing and differentiate themselves?
So brands, of course, I believe a lot of brands actually do. You cannot focus on one and leave the other. You have to do both. So marketing is all the hype, all the sensitization. Sales is closing the deal. If someone does all the hype, but nobody comes to say this is it, you will not buy it.
True.
You will not buy it.
So you need both.
Even if you have to call a number you see on a flyer, or you call a number you hear on radio, the person who speaks to you there is a salesperson. Because the person will answer your questions, call you, ask for inspection, take you for inspection. That person is a salesperson. So marketing enables sales, and sales rides on what marketing builds. So they both complement each other. It's impossible for a business to focus on one at the expense of the other. You have to do both. They have to work pari passu, like you say.
Definitely. So let's bring it home, and I'm going to draw from your experience, because I was quite aware that you manage an agency currently, and how did you start these while you were still in the corporate world?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that's good. Then going to be because we're talking about side hustle, right? So we want to draw from that experience. Was this something you started when you were still in the 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 on the side line, or you quit before starting this? Talking about side hustle, the word side hustle is everywhere now, and everybody is trying to see, do you think is the ideal thing?
In fact, side hustle is mandatory. Side hustle is something that you must have. It is mandatory. I don't know what other word to use, but side hustle is something that's a must. And let me tell you why. Nobody can pay you what you are truly worth, and that is 100 over 100. Because no matter how much your employer pays you, it will never take care of all your needs. Most times people work, and they work to take care of needs. But we learn from economics in school that human beings have both needs and wants. Wants are the things that give you happiness. Needs are the things that give you joy. Now, joy is not enough. Joy is always there. But happiness is actually what makes life worth living. So, no matter where you work, your expenses are always tailored around what you earn as a standard from where you work. Okay.
Exactly, from where you work.
Yeah. What side hustle does is that it gives you extra breathing space to afford the other things of life, the other things that constitute wants that are not needs.
Oh, right.
So, for example, a need will be to pay your rent.
Definitely.
A need, in fact, before paying your rent, a need will be to have an accommodation, whether it's 1 room, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, to live, whether the accommodation is in Ikotun, Ijegun, or Abaranje. Accommodation is accommodation.
Exactly.
That fits under need.
Okay.
However, as a want, your want will now be, instead of living at Ikotun, Ijegun, would I like to live at Magodo?
Okay.
Would I like to live at Omole?
Okay.
Would I like to live at Lekki Phase 1?
Okay.
That is a want. If you have an employment that pays you a salary, the salary would help you take care of your need. It does not necessarily take care of your wants. So what side hustle does is that it gives you that ambit to be able to move from just taking care of needs to taking care of wants.
Okay.
And nobody who is a millionaire today, in fact, I make bold to say nobody who is a millionaire today ever relied on one source of income.
So to your point, it's multiple streams.
Yes, exactly. So that side hustle basically, it's when I talk about side hustle, it's because I am trying to avoid saying multiple streams. Okay. It sounds like a big bogus thing. But side hustle basically means something else you do that brings in revenue. Okay. That thing doesn't even have to be like a physical thing. It could be like investments. So, for example, if you are actively investing in stocks, bonds, shares, every time, it's a side hustle for you. It is a side hustle. Okay. So, side hustle is not necessarily when you set up a barber shop, or when you are writing an ebook, or when you do a podcast, or when you do ever. Not necessarily that. All of those are side hustles. Right. However, all these investments, all this co-owning a farm, co-owning a barber shop, or even rolling money together with your friends to buy houses. You have smart group of friends of 10 who they put money together, and every year they put enough money and somebody uses that money. One of them uses the money to buy a house. The next year, everybody contributes. Until a space of maybe 5-7 years, all of them in the group have bought houses each. So if they are to buy it individually, they keep postponing it because money will never be enough. Exactly. But because they are pulling it together, so that is also a side hustle. So I think the reason why a lot of people do not, a lot of people who are employed or who are employers of labor have problem with the word side hustle is because they think it is something you do that takes away your attention from your work. No, it is something else that you do that adds to your income. And it even goes beyond adding to your income. A lot of people do jobs that only have to do with what they learned in school. They have other passions. So you may be an accountant who loves photography, who also likes to teach, who likes to talk to people. So in your church, you teach Sunday school and all of that. You enjoy doing that. But that same skill you used to teach in church, you can also employ it elsewhere. You can employ it by doing an online class for people. Right. That same passion, you bring it from a physical space into a virtual space, and you can do that on weekends only. Okay. And it does not even have to interfere with your 9 to 5 at all. So what that means is that you are a more balanced individual. You are doing your 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and Saturday to Sunday you're expressing your passion by doing your teaching or whatever else you do. So here you are expressing your passion, you are earning more money. In fact, I make bold to say that side hustle, when done, is advantageous for an organization because no organization can really pay any staff what they want. So if you as an organization, you have staff who are employed in your organization and you are paying them what you can pay them based on what you earn, and they have a side hustle that does not disturb your 9 to 5, and they perform well at work and they're earning more, they are more likely to last longer with you than if they didn't have a side hustle. Because if they don't have a side hustle, any job opportunity that comes that pays them slightly more than you are paying them, they will leave.
Some persons are scared of taking on extra job. Let's just discuss that now. They're scared. Some don't even want their corporates to know that they have side hustles that they are into because of fear of not fear of the unknown, I would call it. How do you think that people can begin to manage, can effectively manage them? Should they come all out, come out to let their organization, or basically once they find, should they admit to their organization if found out that they have other side hustles? That's one. Two, should they inform their management that they have side hustles? Because what we find, especially in Africa, is people just want to keep it to themselves for the fear of the unknown.
It's not the fear of the unknown. People keep their side hustles to themselves and hide it from the organization because of the fear of victimization. It's the fear. It's not the fear of the unknown.
Okay.
It is known, and that known is victimization.
Okay.
So they feel that, if the business knows, they may say, "Oh, so you are sharing our time with your time." And this is what I tell people: for your side hustle to be legit, it has to be such that it does not intrude with your performance and your time at your 9 to 5.
Absolutely.
9 to 5 is called 9 to 5 for a reason, because work starts by a certain time and ends by a certain time.
So that time is
the time between when you leave home and when you get to the office is your time. The time from when you leave the office and when you get home and when you sleep is your time.
Right.
Everything you do in those time bands does not disturb the work of the office.
Okay.
And most offices, your work is from Mondays to Fridays.
Yes.
That means that whatever you do on Saturday and Sunday is in your time, is well within your rights.
Okay.
So to the question as to whether people should
come forward
and tell the organizations. So number one, side hustle requires a lot of maturity. And the maturity starts from, number one, identifying and understanding what kind of organization you work for, what kind of leadership you have in your organization. Are there a leadership that will understand that you're doing a side hustle and that it is necessary? That's the first thing. So you need to understand if it's a management or leadership that understands the fact that outside the 9 to 5 you have a life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can't ask them, you will sense from, by dropping subtle hints here and there, and you know whether it's something they appreciate. If you identify that they understand that, then you may want to broach it and let them know that, number one, it happens only on weekends.
Okay.
There's a concept to work called work-life balance.
Yeah.
Everybody ought to have work-life balance. Why? Yeah. Because if your life is not balanced outside work, it will affect the work.
Absolutely.
So there needs to be work-life balance between what you do in the office and your life outside the office. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you who want to go into side hustle, when you feel the pulse of the business and leadership of the business, and you identify that these guys they understand the need for one to get extra income, then you can tell them. However, if when you feel the pulse, the leadership gives vibes of this African business mentality, because there's an African business mentality. African business mentality is rooted a lot in master and slave relationship. Like I own you.
Interesting.
Yes, most African businesses have this master and slave mentality.
But should it be so?
It should not be. It's not ideal, but it is the case. It is the case, which is why you see bosses they feel they have the right to call you on a weekend.
Which is my point, right? Because you're going home, people are sending you mails, they're calling you, expecting you to respond almost immediately.
And when you don't respond,
they give you an assignment on a weekend and still want you to sit and deliver as if you were working, not factoring the fact that you have other things that you're dealing with during the weekend. So it makes side hustling even stiffer and more difficult.
Yeah, so that even is the more reason why you should increase your side hustle to get yourself out of that kind of environment. If that's the environment you find yourself.
Okay.
It's even
so it's
an extra motivation.
Oh.
It's an extra motivation.
Okay.
So many African businesses are like that. However, the ideal business is a business where you actually work 9 to 5, Mondays to Fridays, And whatever you do from 5 a.m. when you wake up, if that's when you wake up, like I wake up 5 a.m. 5 a.m.
early bird.
I woke up 2 a.m.
So whatever you do from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning, and whatever you do from 5 p.m. when you close till whenever you go to bed, it's your business.
So to your point.
Yeah. So that's if the ideal thing is that time should be your time, and that's the best time to actually do your side hustle and not feel any guilt about it. Including your weekend. So number one, you should understand the business, understand leadership. If from your understanding you realize that they will understand, let them know. But if you realize they don't understand, then don't let them know. And if anybody sends you an email or requests you to work on Saturday or Sunday, you politely decline. Why? Because your job is 9 to 5. Monday to Friday, particularly if what they're asking you to do is something that needs to take you out of your house to anywhere, and you know it's something that can be incessant, politely decline. So in my organization,
sack.
So that's the thing. So if you are in the environment where that exists, that should give you extra. Perhaps you may even need to just go and make that side hustle your full-time hustle, because it doesn't make any sense to work in an environment where your life and work cannot balance. You understand me? It makes no sense.
Yeah. So just one thing, Lola.
Yeah.
Is it particularly to this or
next? It's going to ride on these thoughts.
Okay.
But
So ask your question.
Okay. So my question is in line with what you just said. Studying the environment and understanding what you need to do to get your side hustle started. One of the things that we even want to articulate is, we've been saying the side hustles. You've talked about specific types of side hustles and all that. What do people actually need to get started with these side hustles? I think that's where we'll segue into. I don't know if that's the thought you were going to.
Yes, I was going to. Recently, I had an argument with a friend where we were talking about how much can start a side hustle, right? And it was a heated argument. While my position is that even if you are earning 20,000 naira, which is less than, which is about $10 or $15 there.
About
$12. You can still start something. And my friend said, no, that is not possible, given the current economic climate, the inflation that is in the market and stuff like that.
That's the nightmare part of the question.
My position was still that beyond the financial capital, there are other capitals that you could as well leverage on to get started.
Yeah.
So let me start with your question about what is needed. The most important thing you need to start a side hustle or anything in life is motivation. Your why. Why do I want to do this?
Okay.
So before you take any major decision in your life, the question you ask yourself is why?
Why?
So why do I want to get married? Why do I want to have children?
To have each husband.
Why do I want to do an MBA?
Okay.
Why do I want to try and relocate abroad? Why do I want to do so? So your why is always the driving force. If you can find a strong why for your side hustle, then that is the foundation for it. Many people do side hustles because their why is they want to earn more money. Others, they want to be free of 9 to 5. Others, because they have not had the luck of being a good organization, just being organizations that are just like makeshifts, and they are tired of that kind of life. So their why is that. And some other people's why is because they believe they know so much and they are using only very little in their organization. So they need avenues of further expression. That may be why. You understand? So the why is not always financial. So sometimes the why may be or something other than financial. Maybe the need for self-expression, self-actualization. The why may be because you see that there's a need in the market and you can meet it. And not necessarily because you want the money, but because nobody else is meeting that need. And you have the capacity to meet it and you do it. That is the fundamental thing. Before you even talk about what the business is, whether you need money, where will it be done, who is it targeted at, and all of that. The why is the basic thing you need. Once that why is sorted out, what now happens is that if you answer your why correctly and honestly, when you start your side hustle, when you meet challenges, because you have a strong conviction in your why, you'll be able to overcome those challenges. You understand me?
Oh, I get it.
Now, you were saying something earlier, and it's going to be part of my feedback, my response to you. Not all side hustles require financial capital. There are a lot of other capital. There is social capital.
Yeah.
There is integrity capital.
Okay.
There is experience capital. There is spiritual capital. There are loads of capital.
Spiritual capital.
Oh yes, there's spiritual capital.
I would like to.
So I will explain that to you.
Please
so
do.
let's start with integrity capital.
All right.
Okay.
Integrity capital is if you have been known everywhere you have lived and stayed as somebody who his word is his bond.
Hmm.
You have been known to have integrity.
Okay.
If you now have a business idea and you want to start that business idea, and you go to those people who taps into your integrity capital and you ask them, like, hey, I want to do this. I don't have the money. Can you help me? Can you help me? I have this business idea I want to start. I do not have the funds, but this is how this business idea will work. If you give me XYZ amount, I'll pay you back with XYZ amount. Because you have integrity capital, and because they've always known you as somebody who, what he says, he will do, his word is his bond.
Yes.
They are very, very likely to support you. So you have the idea, but you don't have the money. But because you have integrity capital, you can leverage integrity capital to get the financial capital you need. That's number one.
Okay.
Social capital is capital that you have that, okay, maybe you have a large followership, you have social equity, you have followership online, you have so when you want to do something, because people are saying, because this guy has this social equity and social capital, if you do it with him, it will rub off on us, even though you may not have the money, but because you have that social capital, it's very likely that when you start it, you get help. Because your social equity or social capital will rub off on them.
Okay.
Then I also mentioned
Spiritual.
spiritual
Waiting for that one.
Yeah. So spiritual capital leads us as what even is capital. Capital is anything you have with which you can start something as like a foundation. You can use to start something. Okay. So what is spiritual capital? Whether we believe it or not, whether we accept or not, just as there is a physical realm, there is a spiritual realm.
Okay.
And that is fact. For those who do not believe, they will find out eventually.
Okay.
Always. and people should not mix spirituality with witches, wizards, and all that. That's even a very basic form of spirituality. Spirituality basically is connection with divinity, relationship with divinity. Okay. So when you have relationship with divinity, and in this sense, I'm saying relationship with God, connection with God. What that means is that if you have it and you have the faith and you believe that, hey, this thing, I have it, it works, I believe in it, and you've always tapped into that connection with divinity and it has always given you results for other aspects of your life, maybe when you were ill or when you lost something and you prayed and what you are praying for, God answered. Why can't you also use that same capital when you want to start a business? As okay, God, I want to start this business. I don't have any money. I don't have this, but I'm going to speak to XYZ person today. As I go to pitch this idea to them, I know I'm not big enough for them to accept me, but I'm bringing my natural. I just swap it to become supernatural and pave the way. So, of course, but that requires faith. But that faith is dependent on the fact that you have spiritual capital. Do you have that relationship with divinity? Most people don't have. So, but if you do and you believe it, then you can use it. So it's not for everybody. It's only for those who have it. Just like integrity capital is not for everybody. Not everybody has integrity. Yes, not everybody has social equity. Not everybody has social capital. So the question is, when you make a list of all the capitals available, you ask yourself, which one do I have? No man is bereft of all capital. You must have one or two. So to start a side hustle, even if you do not have financial capital, you ask yourself, what are the other kinds of capital I have? And how can I leverage it? So for example, you want to start a business, you don't have money. You have colleagues, you have people in your church or mosque, you have siblings, you have family, you have classmates who you school together either in secondary or university or MBA or what have you. Those are different pockets. You have neighbors. You understand? The thing is that when people think about side business and raising money, they are always focused on what they have in their pocket or what they have in their bank. They never truly try to access their networks. And everybody has a whole lot of pocket of network. So like I mentioned now, if you went to university, you have a lot already. You have network of people with whom you went to primary school, your primary school mates.
Yes.
You have your secondary school mates. That's how many? Two. You have your university school mates.
3.
You have your NYSC school mates.
4.
Of course, service mates. That's 4. Then if you attend a church, you have church members. That's 5. If you live in a neighborhood, you have neighbors.
Yes, that's
6. If you work in an organization,
7.
If you're on Facebook and you have followers,
8.
If you're on WhatsApp and you have the people that you have always been talking on WhatsApp,
Yes, 9.
You already have 9 buckets already.
Okay.
And if I say that, I can still break it more to like 15 or 20 if you really begin to break it down. Because, for example, if you're on LinkedIn, there's also the LinkedIn audience, professional network.
And if you've changed jobs, you have.
And then it depends on how many offices you work at. So if you've worked for 10 years, and average you worked for 2 years per organization, you have relationships in 5 different organizations, plus the 9 we mentioned.
An average of 10.
You understand me?
Exactly.
So are you telling me that you are so evil, that you are so terrible, that of these 14 relationships, you cannot leverage on one to get help to start a business?
And there will still be more.
Okay.
You understand me?
Yeah. So let's drive it. Everybody's selling. Everybody's into side hustle these days. And sometimes, is it sustainable to start side hustle?
The whole idea of side hustle is sustainability.
Okay.
The whole idea of side hustle is financial sustainability, life sustainability. Because if your full-time job was sustainable in the first place, you're not doing side hustle.
Okay, well, true.
And then sustainability is not only about financial sustainability. There's financial sustainability, there's socio-economic sustainability. Let me explain socio-economic sustainability for you.
Please do.
So if you are earning 500,000 naira per month as a salary, the month before the new government came in, where the naira was, I think the naira was no, as at that time, I think the naira was in
500,
no, yeah,
600?
in the normal forex, whatever, not black market.
official
In the
market,
official rate was 4 something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it was 4 something then. If you are earning 500,000 naira and you wanted to travel to Ghana, South Africa, then you probably will need to save 20% of your salary for like 4 months to be able to afford to go to Ghana.
Yes.
But if you are earning 500,000 naira now, just 2 years later, okay,
Nice.
you will probably need to save for 2 years
Yes.
instead of 3 or 4 months to afford to go to Ghana. Why?
Yes.
Because the currency has devalued. You understand me? So what that means is that if you're earning 500k 2 years ago and you're earning 500k now, even if you're earning 700k now, you have dropped down the socio-economic ladder.
Less than. Yes.
Because if your rent was 1.5 million 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it probably is 2 million now. Okay, but that's just your rent. Rent is not, inflation is not affecting rent as much as affecting things like food, consumables, fuel. I was buying fuel. I remember I was telling somebody that no, I when I joined MTN in 2025, right?
5, that's correct.
I joined MTN, I think 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. When I joined MTN, I was buying fuel at 100 and something naira per liter.
Yes.
It was 140 naira per liter. Now, let's say I was earning 1 million, hypothetically, as at the time, and I was buying fuel at 100 and something naira per liter. Now, fuel is 1,000 plus or 900 and something per liter now.
Yes, about 9.
So it's about 9 times, almost 9 times what it was 2-3 years ago. If I'm earning the same salary, already I'll be spending almost 9 times I was spending on fuel alone. So,
see,
the whole conversation about side hustle is all about being sustainable, both financially, both being the same socioeconomic, being maintaining your where you stand socially, where you fit in socially. Because a lot of people could travel 2-3 years ago, they can't travel anymore now. They cannot. Why? Because of the valuation of the currency, they are still earning good money, but that good money is now very relative because by the time they convert it to dollars, it's not taking them anywhere anymore. They can afford to eat and cover their face and protect their dignity, but they cannot dare wake up and say, I'm going to South Africa. As what? With what? So, side hustle is all about sustainability, financial sustainability, socio-economic sustainability. So if your question, if anybody asks, oh, side hustle is sustainable, it's not just sustainable, like I said earlier, it is very, very essential. In fact, it is the key to financial sustainability because what you earn from your 9 to 5 cannot sustain you. It's basically just to ensure that, number one, you have a starting point, you have the basics. So the basics like your rent, food, for whatever you can buy of food, and some small savings for, God forbid, any emergency. But if you really want to live life, like you want to wake up and say, today I don't want to cook, I want to go and eat at an eatery, or at the end of the quarter, you want to tell your spouse that, okay, let's go on a 2-day vacation. Even if it's not outside Nigeria, let's go to Calabar. You know how much a flight is now?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Side hustle basically is to ensure that all of these things are sustainable.
Yeah.
So, the question is, side hustle sustainable? It is the key to sustainability. It's not just sustainable, but it's the key to sustainability. And side hustle, when done well, can actually now become the main hustle. Because like I told you in the beginning, no organization can pay you what you are worth. So if you are being paid 500K now, if the organization does not increase your salary for the next 2 years, in 2 years' time, you'll still be earning 500K. But if you're doing a side hustle, but you're doing a side hustle and you're earning 500K now, you can determine that by month 4, I want to start earning 800K. Exactly. By month 9, I want to start earning 2 million.
Okay.
By year 2, I want to start earning 5 million. Actually, it's all in your hands. It's something that is within your control. You understand? So side hustle is not just sustainable, but it is the key to financial and life sustainability.
I know you've touched on that, but I want you to re-emphasize on that. How can people get out of the box which the economy has put them to say, you know what, whether I like it or not, whether the resources are there or not, I need to get started and I need to move.
There's a popular saying that where there is a will,
there is a way.
There is a way. Okay?
Yes.
So if you desire to leave poverty or leave financial independence or financial, lack, if you really truly desire to leave it, then your brain would open and you start thinking of what are the options. And number one, crime is never an option. No single person is born without a skill, an idea, or an expertise. Everybody is good at one thing or the other. And because you are good at one thing or the other, there's always a market. There's always somebody or some people who need your services, who need the things you have, who need the things you know. I have spoken to people in the past and I tell them about how they can turn almost anything, practically anything, into money. Do you know that if you have been served breakfast, like you have suffered a broken heart, do you know that can become a source of revenue for you?
Yeah, so it's a real money speaker.
Why? Because you can start by telling your stories.
Yes.
And because people can identify authentic stories, when you share your stories, you do not stop at that. You share the lessons you learned from the story. You share how you moved on from the experience, and you share how not to experience that, the red flags that you saw, that you don't adhere to, and all of that. Then when you go into all that, leveraging digital media, you can even have a session where you want to actually see, I want this session to break down to everybody and let everybody understand what I went through and how they can avoid it, and charge you any amount, 1,000, 5,000, whatever. Because the money that you're charging is not a big deal, you can get a lot of people to actually sit down and listen to you. And that is just the starting point.
Okay.
There, you can actually form a club, of people who have been served breakfast. A community of people who have been served not banana can breakfast. So for the purpose of this conversation. Breakfast actually means someone who has suffered a heartbreak, who has been jilted by their better half or their other half, or
can be better half too.
Not better half, can be better half, yeah, other half. Okay. So if you have been served breakfast, so you can do all of that. You can even write a book on it. You can start a podcast on it. And you can even go on radio station and start a program where people will be calling in. You'll be surprised how people will call and cry, and they just want to have an avenue to let it all out.
Exactly.
And by the time you layer all of this, you can actually have a multi-million, if not billion industry eventually. You can have a merchandise. You can have merchandise, broken but not dead, whatever.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, breakfast, whatever. You can come up with different lines that, basically that would reinforce the fact that, okay, I was struck down, but I am up again, and blah, blah. So I'm just giving us an instance to tell you that, look, any and almost everything can be converted into, a business. So people do not try to identify the solution to a problem until they're pushed to the wall.
Yes.
So when life pushes you into a wall, will you scratch into the wall or will you push back?
Push back.
So ideally, you should push back.
Yes, you should.
So when you push back, the questions now are, what are my options? You start from a position of, like I explained to you when I was talking about marketing, need assessment, skill assessment. What are the things I have skill in? What are the things I'm passionate about? What are the things I know? What are the expertise I have? So it's around skill, passion, and expertise. Expertise is something you have been practicing in an organization for a while. Passion is something that you are passionate about. And skill is something that you naturally have the ability. Most people who play football, who play it well, it's not expertise, it's a skill. People who sing, mostly skill. Because if everybody can learn how to sing properly, then everybody that goes to music school will be a great singer.
True.
But no, there's a lot of skill involved. So 3 things you need to identify. Number 1, what are my skills? Number 2, what are my passion? Number 3, what are my expertise? Your side hustle is always at the intersection of these 3: skill, passion, expertise. So once you are able to identify, you now have to narrow down to which of them is profitable. Do not forget that the whole idea of a side hustle is to give you extra income. So if you have a side hustle and it's not giving you extra income, it's not a side hustle, it's a hobby.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a hobby. It only becomes a side hustle when it gives you extra income. So remember I said it's at the intersection of expertise, skill, and passion. So skill, I know how to sing, I know how to teach, I know how to talk. Noted. Passion, I like to grow people, I like to help people make money, I like to help people develop, I like to help people make people better versions of themselves. Great. Expertise, marketing, social media, sales, brand management, research, strategy. So now I'm talking about myself. So if I want to now start the side hustle, the side hustle will now be, what's at the intersection of my skills, which is talking, teaching, all of that, and my passion, which is helping people earn more, helping people develop financial capacity, and have a better life, and my expertise, which is marketing strategy, brand management, and what have you. So for me, what's at the intersection of those 3 is, helping people, through starting side hustle. So since I can teach them, since I know how to do marketing, show them how to market it. It's not just about starting it. I will tell you how to sell it, how to market it, how to get it out there. And since it's a passion, that means that even if I'm doing it and at the beginning I'm not making money, I will not give up. Because the passion is what keeps you going, even when you have not started making money. But eventually you must make money. And that is what I try to, that is what I do. I have a course called Plan B. Plan B, the side hustle roadmap. Okay, so Plan B, what I try to do in Plan B basically is to say, look, whenever soldiers go into battle or spies go into an operation, they always have a Plan B. oh, we're going to storm the house, we're going to shoot this person, shoot that person. From our recce that we did, there are only 10 bodyguards there. But you now get there and there are 40 bodyguards. And the chopper that has dropped you and left. So in that, so what was your plan B?
You need to survive.
So plan B, you cannot say let's go on plan A. If you go there, they will massacre you. Because around 4 times the number what you had anticipated.
So you would have
and then you cannot go
strategy.
back because your chopper has left. So your plan B has to be, if we get there and what we expect is not there, we must have enough food and whatever in our backpack until we can use to stay in the jungle for like a week. So we can survive until either the number reduces or our chopper comes back. You understand?
Yes.
So most people, the reason why they struggle financially is because they don't have a plan B. So I go to office, I earn XYZ amount. What if they sack me? What if maybe I lose a hand or I lose an eye and the company they cannot employ a one-eyed person, a one-handed person? Or what if I get there's a new management and the new management says they don't need this department anymore? Or what if AI even faces out the entire faces out this my industry?
Exactly.
What is your plan B? What is your plan B?
So
what if there's a war? All this, everybody cursing out each other's tribes and it escalates into a war. So what is my plan B?
COVID, even the COVID era.
Yeah, COVID era. What's your plan B? Or you have to move out of the country to another country, maybe Canada, like most middle class Nigerians move, and you get there and you don't get a job your first month, second month. So what's your plan B?
Plan B, exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So that is why I named the course Plan B, the side hustle roadmap. So Plan B basically is a course that shows the roadmap from beginning to end of what side hustle should be. And I always tell people, look, in that plan B, what I always start with is number one, what is your skill, expertise, and passion that when you combine them together can become profitable for you. So once you are able to identify that, wherever you are, whatever amount you have, that is the starting point. Once you identify that, it then becomes easy for you to identify if you need money, because not all side hustles require financial capital. Not all. Almost everybody buys data on their phone. Almost everybody has a mobile phone. Almost everybody has a social media account. So you can actually start doing content, for example, without spending money, and all you just have to do is shoot. If you don't have the money to get a light or whatever, then you can use your room light for now, for starters. Or you can use sunshine. Sunshine is a great whatever.
True.
You understand?
Yes.
So that is one. Or you can say your side hustle basically is to teach. So you can go online and start a series. Teach whatever you want to teach. Or your side hustle is to basically is to help people speak a language. You can go online and say, hi, my name is this, I can teach you that language. From today, I want to let you know, if you want to learn XYZ language, starting from March 1st, I'll be teaching language every Monday, and you start. You don't need money to start that. The reason why people are always looking for money is because they're looking for a side hustle that will start on Monday and start earning money by Tuesday. Nothing happens that way. Even the organization where you're employed in, they didn't start the idea on Monday and on Tuesday they are making revenue. No, they did not.
A whole lot of consistency.
So yes, so it needs to grow. It needs to start organically, and then over time you can start putting money into it. So to answer your question, how do you start? Number one, find your why. Ask yourself what is at the intersection of your skills, expertise, and passion. Okay, and then when you have understood that, then ask yourself, how can you make it profitable? Remember, if your side hustle is not profitable, it's not a side hustle, it's a hobby. So how can you make it profitable? How can it be profitable? What problem does it solve in the market? What need does it meet the market? You understand? When you're now able to ascertain that, then you now ask yourself, what is the cheapest, easiest way to start it? What is the cheapest, easiest way to start it? And there's nothing that you cannot do as a side hustle. There's absolutely nothing. Give me an example, and I will tell you how you can make a side hustle of it. And there's no profession you can be in that you cannot have a side hustle.
Okay.
Whether you're a doctor, you're in the medical space, you're in the electronic space, you are in the digital space, you are in the accounting space, you are in any space you are, you can actually have a side hustle. And your side hustle doesn't necessarily have to relate with what
you're
you
currently do.
Yes.
or what you do as your
Yes, so somebody who is a medical doctor now, who teaches people how to dance, what's the relationship between dancing and medicine? There's no relationship, but it can still be a side hustle. I know people who are engineers, but who, when we were in school, they were black belters in karate.
Oh.
I know people who are engineers. Some of them are even they are doing work that doesn't pay them a lot. And I say, look, you are a black belter. Do you know that you can actually start an academy and teach people self-defense?
Exactly.
I can become a manager. Forget YouTube channel itself. I can become a manager. If I become a manager, for example, I invest and I tell you that look, every money that comes in, I take, first of all, remove the marketing fee, then I'll take 50% of profits, take 50% of profits. Yes, you understand me? And what would I do? I would first of all say, okay, you know how to do self-defense, right? We pick a location, then I go on Instagram or Facebook and run ads and say, if you are tired of being harassed by Agbero, if you want to be able to defend yourself anywhere and you are above 30, if you want to be able to defend yourself in your car when you drive to work,
yes.
do you know that in 6 weeks you can make you blah 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 blah? You don't know this needed, know that needed for only 50,000 naira, and in 6 weeks you can stand toe to toe with any Agbero and defend your dignity, protect your wife, protect this. If you're interested, click to sign up.
Wow.
And by the way, Agbero basically means loud.
So if you fall within this category and you saw this ad and you have 50K,
of course,
are you likely to click or not?
Of
yes,
course.
You
would click. I'll probably spend 100K on that ad. Probably get like 200 people paying 50K. 200 people that 50K is 1 million naira. I'll remove the 100,000 naira of my ad. It's mainly 100,000 naira. Mr. Karate spender takes for 50K. I think for 50K. And that's for the first set. We can do it again and again and again. So there's practically nothing that cannot do. And that also so, and if this guy that is this karate guy, this martial artist, if he has a 9-to-5 job, it doesn't stop him. So he still goes to work 9 to 5. And these trainings will only be on Saturdays, 1 hour. And it'll be a group training. All of them will come together.
As the multiple streams of income we're talking about. Well,
that's been amazing.
It's been an amazing conversation. I wish we can go on and on and on. Right? But this is what the platform is made for, basically having interesting conversation, bringing people who know their onions in the different fields to come and share their knowledge with us. And I think that on this note, if you have final words, we can just take that.
Okay, my final words is, like I said earlier, side hustle is a necessity. It's almost a do or die affair. Yes, in the sense that, look, if you don't pay your bills will pay you.
Wow. Okay.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
And you know what that means,
It is the
right?
truth. See, it's just like they say that life abhors vacuum.
Yes,
okay?
True.
If you don't use your time well, somebody else will use it for you. You understand? Yeah. If you don't use your life well, somebody will use your life for you.
Exactly.
So, side hustle, like I told you earlier, is just another way I want to communicate multiple streams of income. It's a necessity. If you are tired of living from hand to mouth, or if you are tired of just managing whatever you earn, not being able to give yourself the life you desire, your family the life they desire, and actually do the things you really want to do, like travel or own a property or take care of extended family. If you really want to do that, there is no way all of this can fit into your 9 to 5. My advice to you is to ask yourself, what am I an expert at?
Okay.
What is my passion, or what are my passions, and what skills do I have? Now, at the intersection of these three things, what can I do that speaks to these three things, and how is it profitable? How can I make it profitable? How does it serve a need in the market? How does it solve a problem in the market? And when you have understood that, then the next question will be, how do you start? And if you have any doubts about how to start, then feel free to send me a DM on Instagram at Ikemba1. I have a course called Plan B, the Side Hustle Roadmap. Okay, so it's an affordable course for anybody who wants to learn how to earn more money for themselves, who wants to learn how to start a side hustle without quitting their day job. the challenge most people have with starting small business because they feel why they want to leave the known for the unknown.
True.
With side hustle, you don't need to leave the known for the unknown.
Okay.
You keep the known and still fall into the unknown, and eventually the unknown will become known, and then who knows, it might even take over from your 9 to 5 and become your major revenue. And it doesn't have to be one. You can start one, become sustainable, you build a system around it, and then you start another one. And that's how you will even discover that you're a serial entrepreneur.
And then it becomes entrepreneurship, then becomes a hobby.
Amazing.
All right. Thank you very much once again for honoring us with your presence. We really appreciate the nuggets.
Thank
the nuggets
you,
are
Ikemba.
amazing. And we also know that our audience out there would love every bit of this. From all of us in the studio, I want to say a big thank you to you out there for following us up to this point. You know how it is. Don't just listen. Let's continue the conversation on all our social platforms. So let us know what you think about this. Like, share, don't listen alone. Also share with your family, friends. Let them know about side hustle, why they should get at it if they haven't. Also subscribe to our YouTube channels for our followers currently. We want to say a big thank you. Our subscribers, we want to say a big thank you to you. From me, it's bye for now.
And from me, it's see you in the next one.